Hello, my name is Julie and this is KS Mom Crochets, and today is Crochet Podcast number 93. So it's been a little bit since I have made a podcast. I have been releasing videos though, I made 2 videos this week already, and then I had a pre-recorded video for last week, but I haven't shared any finished objects or works in progress with you all in a while. You would think that I would have a lot more than I have, but a lot of my projects are smaller projects. But yeah, it's okay. I will just go ahead and get started. The first thing that I want to share with you all is actually not made by me. It is a coaster that my daughter Caitlin made me for Mother's Day. She actually surprised me with this for a Mother's Day present, and it was just like the best gift ever. I had no idea that she was even crocheting. She snuck down and got a hook and the yarn and everything that she needed, and this is what she chose to do. I think she followed a Bella Coco tutorial on YouTube to make this. I'll see if I can find the one that she used, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to. I think she used a 4mm hook on this, and then this is that Dishy cotton in the color Friendship Bracelet. And I just think she did an awesome job, especially for this being the first project that she has, I think, one of the very few projects that she has ever made that I've not been sitting beside of her, like guiding her through it. And for her to have done this and not been crocheting for a long time, like, that is just really awesome. She also made a like a head scarf, but I don't know where it's at to share with you all, so maybe I can share that on my next podcast because she's not here right now. But I just love that. I thought that that was such a sweet thing for her to do because she knows how much I love crochet, and just to make me a little something was just so super sweet. And I just had to share that with you all. Now the next ones are all made by me. I actually have 4 finished objects, and then one small one, and then I think like 2 works in progress. But the first ones that I'm going to start off with are for Litza over at Coco's Crochet. It's hashtag Coco's Crochet Cal 2024, and our project for this 2 weeks was washcloths, and I kind of got into a little bit of a funk, I guess, and I wasn't really crocheting. And washcloths are like my go-to get your crojo back easy, simple, instant gratification projects to do. Like, I absolutely love making washcloths. I don't make them a whole lot, but when I do, I really do enjoy them, and I love trying new stitches. I think that a washcloth is the best way to try out new stitches, because you are, making a swatch or practicing a stitch, but then you also have something useful at the end that you can, have as a finished project. But the first one that I made is my all-time favorite dishcloth to make. It's one of my go-to patterns, and I just thought that I would share it with you all again. I think, shared this before on my channel, but it's been a while. And it is the Wagon Wheel Dishcloth by Sarah Satch. And I used a 5mm hook, and this is Peaches and Cream yarn in the color Oasis. And I just love that this dishcloth, pardon my nails, this is why I don't paint my nails, because work really destroys them. But anyway, I love that it's textured on both sides. And it's really pretty in like a solid yarn, or even switching your colors. I've done that before. I have took and made 2 of these because they're so thick, and then crocheted around the sides and made it potholders. They make excellent potholders because they're super, super thick, and they make really excellent dishcloths as well. So like I said, this is one of my go-to favorite patterns, and I highly recommend it. I really love it so much. And then the next one that I made actually comes out of a book that I was gifted, and I did do a Happy Mail video this past week and went through a lot of the patterns in this book, but it is the Crochet Yearbook right here, and I made the Cherry Stripes dishcloth. And I wrote down what color tab that I used so that I could find it easily. And here it is, the Cherry Stripes dishcloth. But I didn't do mine in multiple colors like they did, which I do like the look of that, and I do, you know, think that that would be fun to do, and it might be something that I do in the future. But at the time, I only had one color beside of me, and so I just did it all in this color, this purple color, and it is Sugar and Cream Black Currant. Again, I used a 5mm hook, and I just love how it's solid in the middle, and then it has these open spaces. I just think it's a really pretty dishcloth, and it's a pretty nice size too. This is about as big as I go for dishcloths. I usually make them just a little bit smaller than this, but I do really love how this turned out, and I don't think that I will be able to, I don't think I'll be able to link this below, but if I can find it, I will. But I do think that it's really pretty, and it was so much fun to make these dishcloths. So those are my projects for Coco's Crochet Cow 2024, and I really enjoyed this one a lot. Like I said, washcloths are like my go-to favorite patterns, and I really do feel like that you know, helped me get to crocheting again. The next thing that I made is another pattern out of a book that I was gifted as well. That was also on that video, that Happy Mail video, and it is this Heirloom thread potholders. I did find the PDF version of this book on ePattern Central, which is it's Annie's owned website, but it's like for digital patterns only. But I did make this one right here, and I just love it so much. Now, I did not put the border on it because I had to put a ring on it. Chantel, if you are watching, that's for you. But here it is, and I just love it so much. I think that it is gorgeous. Typically, these are not colors that I would like put together. I had this on my cart because I wanted to make a ring, a doily on a ring. So I just used what was close to me, I guess. But I do think that it's absolutely gorgeous, and I love the flower motif that's in that book, and it's so simple. Like, I was kind of a little intimidated by that because I never made a thread crocheted flower, but this one was really easy to do. So this design is just called Pineapple in the book, and I used a 2.5mm hook or 2.5mm hook on this, and I used Curio number 3 thread and Tea Rose, which is this pink color, and then this color right here is Pistachio. And it's kind of like a minty color. I just love the design in that. This was so much fun to make. I did keep messing up on it for some reason, and I don't even know why. I've had a really hard time concentrating when I've been crocheting, so I think that that's why. But because the pattern was very well written. The only thing that I noticed is that it would tell you to like chain 2, and I don't know why, instead of like slip stitching over to the, you know, like the top of your chain 3, it was worded a little bit different, but you kind of know what you're supposed to do. I'm thinking that maybe that was a typo, but I could be wrong. The ring here is a 14-inch ring, and I think in the book, I'm pretty sure that it's only a 10. It's only supposed to be 10.5 inches, but it was because they used size 10 crochet thread. Yeah, it says it's about 10 1/4 with the border, and so using that number 3 thread obviously made it bigger. And they also used a lot smaller of a hook too. But it just goes to show you that just because a pattern tells you to use something, you know, you'll get a different size than what they say, but it's still really pretty. Still very, very pretty. And I love it. And I actually like the way the back of the flower looks. I think that looks cool. So I'm excited to hang this up on my wall. I'm still not sure where I'm going to hang it. I don't know if I'm going to hang it in here or if I'm going to hang it in the bedroom, because I've kind of been hanging a few of my doilies in my bedroom. I just really like them in there. So I'm not sure where I'm going to hang it, but it's definitely going to be hung up somewhere. So that is that one. And then the next thing that I made, I guess I got quite a few more things than what I thought, but it has been over 2 weeks. So I guess I just have forgot. But I made this little applique here. I'm calling this finished because I'm not sure if I'm going to make the little bag that it goes on. But it is the, also out of the Crochet Yearbook book. Yeah. And it's called the Sunflower Sachet. And I really do like it so much. It's very, very pretty. But they made the applique and the little pouch out of thread. I think maybe the applique is made out of floss, like embroidery floss. So I'm not sure. I do want to use this on something. I'm just not sure if I like the way that little sachet, or because I was thinking that if I did that in yarn that it would come out a lot bigger. But the way that it's like made in like a panel, and then you have to sew it together and stuff, and I kind of just want to work it in the round. So I'm thinking about using this and then, you know, coming up with my own, like, changing that pattern to where it's worked around. And I did try that and it wasn't working out. So for now, I'm just going to save this and put it on something in the future for whenever I can figure out how to do that the right way. So that was just a little small thing. And then the next 2 things that I finished are amigurumis. And one of them I actually finished right after my last podcast because I didn't really have a long way to go on him. And it is my little Yeti. And here he is. And I just think he is so cute. I just love him so much. I think that he turned out so adorable. He makes me smile every time I see him. And he does stand really, really well still, even with his pieces on. I just love him so much. Now, this is a pattern by Lucy Collin or Lucy Ravenscar on Etsy. And she is the same designer that made the Tudor Fant pattern. And the Tudor Fant, you know, obviously y'all have seen if you've been following me. The Tudor Fant has the big and little version, and so does this pattern. Now, I do have this in a magazine. I did share that magazine in my last podcast, but I don't have it in here to share it. But it's just the big version. And I actually bought the Etsy pattern, which comes with 3 patterns. You get the big Yeti and Bigfoot. You get the little Yeti and Bigfoot. And then you also get a pattern called An Adorable Monster, which is very similar to this, except I think I didn't look at the pattern very closely, but I'm thinking that it's very, very similar to this. She just like brushes out the yarn to make it furry and stuff. So it's made just a little bit different, but I think that's why she included it. But like I said, it's a 3-for-1, and I think last time I told you all about that, I said that it was like $4, and I think it's like $5 US, but I think it's worth it because this pattern is so cute. I did mention in my last podcast that I connected the legs and then worked the body up, which was very easy to do. The only thing about it is I couldn't place the face the way that she did. I actually attached because this face is like separate, and you have to sew it on. So I just placed my safety eyes on the face part here, and then I sewed it on, and you can't tell. You can't tell that it was like that. So, and then this fur here is made with the loop stitch, and that's very easy to do. And I didn't have any issues with the pattern whatsoever. I did do the alternate version for the arms, which is included in the pattern. And the only difference is in the regular arm version, you work from the bottom up, and on the alternate version, you work from the bottom down, and it was very easy to do. I did put too many, like I made my popcorn stitches here. I made them one stitch too many, so the fingers were actually supposed to be a little bit smaller, but it didn't matter, I don't think. I love him. I think that he's so cute. And I did use a 3.5mm hook, and I used these gold glitter eyes that I got from Amazon that have like the little glitter disc that goes on the back of the clear eyes there. And I'm thinking that those might be like 14mm. And then I used the Big Twist Party yarn in the color Glacier Pool. And then for the scray here, I used Premier Basics DK and Fog Gray. And I had a lot of this color left, like a lot more than what I had when I made that Tudor Fant. Whoop, right there, that one. When I made him. So might could have got the big one out of one skein of this party yarn, but I'm not sure. But I do want to try to make the big one day, because this one was a lot of fun, you know, especially because like I said, in the pattern she has you sew the legs on, and where I connected the legs and then worked up the body like that and made it one piece, it just was so easy to do. It made it work up a lot faster, I think. I am all for, I don't like complete no-sew patterns. I mean, I like them, but they don't have to be a complete no-sew pattern for me. Like, I don't mind sewing on the arms. Usually I prefer sewing on the arms because I can, sometimes I can use them to stabilize necks, you know, but I really love patterns that the legs are one piece. So he was really easy because, like I said, the only thing he had to sew on was his arms and his face with the way that I did it. And then I just used that cat brush, you know, the wire cat brush, to brush out his little furry face. I just think he's so cute. Oh, I love him so much. Definitely a big favorite of mine for sure. I just love him. And this next pattern that I finished, or the last pattern that I finished, I'm so proud of this. Like, I'm so proud of her, but I'm probably going to talk about her for a while because I took a lot of notes on her. Because, one, I had a very good friend, Deborah, ask me to let her know how the pattern was. And also, I would love to make her again because I think that she is such a fun pattern. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about Miss Kitty Catty out of the Amigurumi Animals at Work book. I love her so much. She is so cute. Let me grab her. And she's huge. She's huge. I love her. Oh my gosh. I just love her so much. Now this pattern, when I measured her last, she was 16 inches tall, I think. So she is very, very tall. And I just love, I think I did a really good job on her face. Like, I was so proud of myself when I finished her face. I can't quit looking at her. Like, I just love her. Like, I think that this is one pattern that I'm just so super proud of. And like I said, I did change some things about her. And then, like I said, if I ever made her again, I would change a lot more about her, because there are some things about this pattern that I did not, or the finished product that I don't like, not really the pattern, because the pattern was excellent. So this pattern is actually, like I said, it's in that book, but the designer is Sarah Bassnett, which is from the Tales of Twisted Fibers. So I think you can buy just the individual pattern, but that book is not very expensive. I did use a 3mm hook on her, and I used all DK weight yarn on her. And I used Hayfield Bonus DK in the color Forest Green, Taupe, and then the dress is called Pretty Pink. And then I used Bonbon Ice yarn in the color White for her body, black on her ears and her tail here, and then soft green for her shirt, which is like a mint. It's kind of like a minty color. And then I just had I have this yarn called Drops Love You 7 that I use for all of my embroidery that I got from Wool Warehouse. I just love using a thin cotton yarn. Embroidery floss would work well too, but I really do like the way that the yarn looks, the cotton yarn looks for embroidery. But I love her little face. I think I did pretty good on her. I just tried to mimic as best I could. She does show in the pattern like where to put the pins at and stuff, but I'm the type of person that I like to look at their pictures, like their finished pictures, and I go by that mostly, and I just try to count the stitches and, you know, the best that I can to mimic what they did. So you make the boots first. The boots are, let's see, the boots, the legs, the body are all one piece. And in this pattern, they do a technique where you have like a tube for the neck, and then the head like sits on that tube, and you sew it in a certain way. And I did have a lovely viewer here tell me about a YouTube channel called Green Frog Crochet, and they have a tutorial for how to sew the head and the neck the way that it's done in this pattern, and it is very interesting. So I don't know, I would try that one day, because it is cool how that it's done. But I really like the way that I did her, because I changed the pattern to where the body, the shoes, all the way up to the top of the head was all one piece. And I really enjoyed that. I thought that worked out well. I don't think that she looks bad. I think that her neck, she still has a little bit of a neck area there. And I just went on up into the head. I did like 2 rows of the neck, and then I did 1 extra row around of single crochet, and then I just started the head at that row where my stitches were the same, and just started on up into the head. For the legs, because when I first started making this pattern, I was like, well, you really need to follow this pattern step, you know, because a lot of patterns, it'll say head and body, legs, arms, you know, and some patterns you really have to follow the way that it's put out, because in this pattern you start with the boot, and then you do this, and then you do the leg, and then you go back and do these pieces. And honestly, it's easier to do a little bit of the leg and then go back and do this before you get this all done. And then I have to go back, because I did struggle with that a little bit, attaching that, because one side I waited until the leg was finished, and then the other side I was like, nope, I'm going to add this on first. And so that's what I did. And then also on this boot cuff, I felt like, I don't know if it was my tension or what, but I did add an extra row for the boot cuff to make it a little bit longer, because I thought it looked better. And then, you know, you do attach the body, it does tell you in the pattern to change to this color, but I forgot. So like her color changing doesn't start until up into the waist area because I didn't forget. I just didn't see it. I didn't read it, basically. So she was actually supposed to look like she had like a one piece suit on under this dress, but instead mine looks like it has a shirt on. And I really loved the shaping of this, and I want to show you all. I did take some pictures. They're not very good, but I did take some pictures because the one thing that I didn't like about this dress is there was no hole to sew on the tail in the dress. And I didn't think about doing that myself, but if I ever did this again, I would make a hole in the back of the dress to sew the tail so the tail can come through that hole, because I actually had to sew her tail through her dress and into her body. And I guess you could have just sewed it on the back of her dress, but I don't think that it would have been stable enough. I love that she has that little bow over her tail so it covers that sewing part of it. My dress was just a little bit too big at the top. The way that the top of this dress is written, you leave like a wider section for the front and then a smaller section for the back, or maybe it's vice versa, I can't remember, but I just split it evenly for the top of the dress because it's just a little bit too big. And I don't know, because I did use there's a little, it's the same sized yarn, but there's a little bit of difference in this Hayfield bonus and this Bonbon yarn, so that might have been why. But I did have to adjust the top of her dress. These fingers, I have learned that I do not like making fingers at all. It wasn't that it was hard. There was nothing hard about doing these fingers. So simple. She broke it down easy. It's such a small piece. It didn't take long to do it. It's just very fiddly. And I'm not big on fiddly pieces, especially when they're so small and stitches around. But I really do love the way that her hands turned out. So if I ever made this pattern again, I think I would just do it because it's worth it. But I do love her little fingers there. I also left more black on the tip of her tail. I felt like, because I think the black part of her tail is a lot smaller, and so I did go up farther with that. I thought that it looked better, and I did put a pipe cleaner in her tail, so her tail is posable, and I like it kind of to the side to where that you can see it from when she's standing forward. On the dress, I don't know how to do a half double decrease. So the dress has like these little spots that stick out because I didn't do that half double decrease right. So if you see that, that's what that is. But I really did love this pattern. This is what she looks like without her hat on. I think she's still cute without her hat, but she looks cuter with her hat on. And I'm sure that she told you where to place the, I feel like I had to adjust the hat too. I did have to adjust the hat. The hat was coming out too big. And I also worked the hat backwards, I think. And that's probably maybe why. I'm not sure. But I didn't like the way that the hat was made, so I changed it. I'm pretty sure that's what I did. If I'm remembering right, because it's been a while. Because once I got working on her, I had her completely done except for her arms for like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. Like I had her completely, she has been sewed together except for her arms and her tail on for at least 2 weeks. So she works up very fast because her body, the way that it's shaped, the shaping of her body, and then the way that there's a very small amount of stitches going around, so it works up really fast, her body does. So it doesn't take long at all once you get past the boots and, you know, start working on this. It doesn't take long at all for that part to work up. She's actually a pretty fast make to be, as, you know, obviously the hat and the clothes and all that takes more time, But as far as her body goes, she's very fast to make, I think. She's not as time consuming as what I thought this pattern would be, and that's why that I hadn't made it, even though I love it so much. But there are things that I would like to change stability wise. I think cardboard in the bottom of the shoes would probably be a good idea. It would give it more stability, you know, something more flat to stand on. Also, when she's standing, she will stand a little bit. She wants to fall backwards. Did you see that? And her legs bend because there's like some decreasing in the knees and stuff. So she definitely needs wire or something, pipe cleaner, something in the legs because her legs just want to bend. Also, she wants to bend at the waist as well. Like her waist wants to bend because she's so tall and skinny. There's just no stability there. And I don't think that there was anything in the pattern about adding stuff like that. And if there was, maybe I just forgot or I missed it. I did add a pipe cleaner in her neck for stability there. But like I said, I really wish that, I think on the legs it just said to stuff them really well, but I was stuffing so much that my stitches started stretching, and I was like, I can't add any more stuffing to that. So I don't know. Definitely would put something in her for stability because she will stand leaned up against something. But when I got her boots and her body done, she was standing up fine without her head. Or maybe her head was on. I think it was after I added her dress and all this that she stopped standing. I think it was too heavy. But I could stand her up perfectly before. But now she just wants to bend because it's just too much weight for the top. But I love her so much. I am so happy with her. I forgot to say I did add a little safety nose and little eyes. I think in the pattern her safety nose is bigger, but I think it looks fine. I just love her. I love her so much. And I know I've talked about her for a long time now, but she was so much fun to make. I would make her all over again. Like, I just loved her so much. I really love the colors and how that the colors turned out. I think she's gorgeous. I really do love her. I think this is an excellent pattern. So that is Miss Kitty Catty. And I know that in the book, she does have, because in this book, every pattern has like a little story. And she is actually an Amigurumi designer. And she crochets bears. So those are actually teddy bears. And I do want to make one of those and also her little purse. But I don't know when I'll do that. It may come up soon and then I may just move on. So I'm not sure. So I know a lot of you all were looking forward to seeing those little tiny teddy bears. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if I make that next podcast because I'm not sure. I do have 2 works in progress that I want to share with you all. And one of them is a thread project that comes out of, I just dropped a bunch of stuff, but it comes out of this book again, and it is a tablecloth, but, wait, I think it's in the green section here. So it's a tablecloth, and I just took, it's called Everything's Rosy, and I just took the rows of that and made my own chart from the chart that's on this side of the book. You have a whole chart for this, and I just took that rose pattern that you can't really see, made a chart, started following it. I'm using a 2mm hook on this, and I'm using Red Heart Classic number 10 and Victory Red, yeah. So you can see the rose. I did mess up on this quite a few times. It would have been done if I hadn't kept having to rip it out. Like I said, I haven't been able to concentrate, like, at all. It's like I've just messed up on every single crochet project that I have made. I don't know. But anyway, I am loving how it's turning out. I did make a pretty big mistake on my chart. And it was like over here. This part was supposed to go over a little bit, but I don't think it looks bad. And then I also tweaked the chart from the book and made the leaves look a little bit different. And I also took this part from the chart and changed it and added it so that there was, well, so that there was a little extra detail. I really am loving these filet crochet projects. Like, they are great TV watching projects because even though they're a little in depth with the picture and you got to pay attention to what you're doing, the stitches that you're doing is just a double crochet and a chain, and so it's just very easy to do while you're like doing, you know, talking or whatever. But it is an easy way to mess up if you're not paying. You got to pay a little bit of attention, so you got to watch something that you don't have to pay a lot of attention to. But I do love it. I think that's pretty. I think it's going to be really pretty when it's done. And yeah, so that is my Everything's Rosy, Not a Tablecloth filet crochet project. Last work in progress that I have comes out of this magazine right here, which is a Crochet Now magazine that I was gifted, and it is issue number 90. And I'm making this little guy right here, Osito the little bear. I hope I said that right. But he is a lot of fun so far. I just started him last night, so I haven't got very far on him. Let me bring a bigger picture, because there's a bigger picture of him. So here he is, and then there is the designer, which is Pia Simpson. And he's adorable. Now, I want to do his shirt all one color, because I ain't in the mind to change colors. Even though I do think that's super cute. His legs are sewed on, and I made him one piece, you know, with his legs and his body, because his body and his head is one piece. And the fun thing about this pattern is usually I'm like, well, you know, I had to work the body backwards. But in this pattern, it's actually worked from the bottom up to the head. So there was no, like, guesswork, you know. I just put his little legs together and, you know, got my stitches right. And I did put, like, a chain 2 in between the legs on this one. I usually, when I connect the legs on my own, I usually don't do that. He doesn't have any stuffing, so he's not, like, looking right. But I usually just connect them together, just start crocheting them together. But I did put a chain 2 in between. But I'm liking how he's turning out. I think he's going to be really cute. Caitlin and my husband picked out that color for his shirt. And like I said, I don't think I'm going to do any striping or anything. I think I'm just going to work it in a solid color. But I think it'll be fun. I do think that I might do something. I'm not sure if I'll do his heart or not. If I'll let him hold a heart. I was thinking maybe I might do some kind of applique for the front of his shirt. But I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to make the heart or an applique. But I'm using a 3mm hook, and this is that Bonbon Ice yarn. I'm really enjoying that yarn a lot. And this is Brown Heather, and this is Denim. And like I said, that's all I got done. He does have little sleepy eyes. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do Cassandra's embroidered eyes or if I'm going to do the sleepy eyes. I did get his muzzle done too. I went ahead and did that so I could put this color up, and it's caramel or caramel. So he has a little muzzle there too made. But he's working up good. I really like him. This pattern is a lot of fun. I have, you know, I've been gifted a lot of these, or a few of these, from Sally at Nanny Moon's Crochet. I was gifted some from her, and then I also have a bunch of digital copies and a couple physical copies that I have bought myself. So I want to really work out on my magazines, because I have a ton of magazines too that I've been gifted, especially like Crochet World. I have a ton of Crochet World because where I'm subscribed to that and get physical copies in the mail, and then I've been gifted some. So I'm going to try to like sprinkle in some magazines here and there. Yeah, because I really need to work out of those too. And I'm trying not to like buy anything right now. So there's that. So yeah, so it's nice to just work for what you have and just not buy anything. So I do want to say thank you all for watching my girls' artwork video that I did. I really appreciated all your sweet comments. The girls were happy about what you all said as well. Caitlin did tell me that I showed one of her things upside down, so I wanted to show it the right way. And then also there was a couple things that they brought home that wasn't in that video that I just wanted to share really quickly. I won't take too much of your time. But this yarn art that she did, I held it upside down. And so it's actually grass. So this is the sky, and then this is, you know, so there's that one again, just so Caitlin will quit talking about me holding it upside down, because, you know, I don't know, we all interpret art different, right? And then she also made these little cork board designs of my dogs. Like this one looks like my dog Bella. It's a mini one, so these are actually stamps. You can put ink on them and they will stamp that picture on there, which is super cool. I do have one. Another one here, this one is actually of Lucy, my other dog. And I do have what it looks like when it's stamped out. She actually hand her tool carved or something this cork board to make these stamps, and I just think they're super cool. And here is what it looks like when it's stamped out on the picture. I mean, that's pretty awesome, ain't it? And it really does look a lot like Lou and Bella. I don't have Bella's stamped, but it looks a lot like Bella too. So there was that. And then the last thing, let's see, there's one more thing from Caitlin. She made a big landscape chalk picture of a landscape, and it's so gorgeous. And I have a picture that I will pop up, or I probably have already, of her holding that, and I just think she did awesome. My husband said that he wants it, he has somewhere that he wants that put, so I guess I'll let him hang it where he can look at it. And then the last thing I want to show is Shaylee's dragon that she this was actually a group project, but Shaylee actually okay, I was just making sure that I didn't like say anything important or like privacy. But anyway, so this is her project that she did as a group, but she actually brought this home like 2 nights and worked on it. So I feel like that she did a lot of the work. She paper mache'd the horns and the tail here. She did all the painting. I think they helped like glue on these popsicle sticks and, you know, come up with the idea. Shaylee drew the face and all that. But like I said, it was a group project, but I still know that Shaylee did a lot of work on this. So I wanted to share it too because I think it's cute. I know one of the girls that she was in a group with did the wings. I do know that. But I thought that it was pretty awesome. And like I said, they did a vote, and this project won first place out of the class. So I thought that was pretty awesome as well. Okay, so since I finished Miss Kitty Catty, I do have another project that I haven't started yet for my other basket, but I'm going to go ahead and draw out the book for my next project to do out of my books. So I've got my little basket here, and I drew out my little thing here, and let's see what we get. If I can get it open. Oh, so it's another big project probably, and it's Unicorn, Dragons, and More Fantasy Amigurumi. So this is a book that I've had for, obviously all of those books in that basket are books that I've had for a long time that I haven't worked out of. So it's going to be fun to work out of this one. And here it is right here, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do out of it. I know that there's a couple things marked, like Caitlin really wants that goblin. I do know that. Like, she's obsessed with that goblin. I really think she's beautiful. And then the last one that's marked, oh, is this dragon right here. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do out of this book, but we will find out whenever I get it started. So there's that. So I keep forgetting things. The next thing that I want to say is I think what I'm going to do next, I am going to record a look inside video after this, as I have been for the past few weeks. It's really come in handy having like a pre-recorded video, because sometimes life throws you curveballs, and it's nice not to just not have anything, you know, for you all to watch. You know, I want to stay relevant, I guess. I want to keep you all coming back. So I'm going to do a look inside of this book right here, which is the one I just got done working on. But I think it'll be fun because there are a lot of patterns in here that I just think are awesome. Like, there are so many patterns in this one book that I would like to do. So I'm going to do a look inside of Amigurumi Animals at Work next. So that's what you have to look forward to coming this week. So that's all I have for you all for real this time. And thank you all so much for watching, for all your lovely comments, for just being such sweet people. Like, thank you all so much for being so kind and so sweet. I really do appreciate that more than you could ever know. So thank you all. And yeah, that's it. So until next time, guys, I will see you in another video. Bye.